Hey everybody, welcome to my craft table. This video is going to be a little different one. It's going to be one of those tips and tricks type tutorials. So I was sitting back today and I'm like, I have the opportunity to show off something really cool, maybe really helpful, depending on who you ask. So when I started knitting, as you guys may well know by now, I hated it. And I can remember starting off with some plastic needles, and I don't like plastic needles in case you're wondering, and so that was part of what caused me to quit, because I couldn't get with the texture of the needles and how it made my project flow. So fast forward, the other day I started writing up a new pattern, which is why there's paper on my table. And I started on these wooden needles that I bought back in 2018. And I don't like them for this yarn. I'm using a Jubilee yarn, and I will leave the link to this yarn in my blog post that this video is going to be in. I do not like how this is working. Like, now that I've worked up 4 rows of this yarn, it's okay, but it's still not my preference. Like I've said in prior videos, I typically don't care to work with wooden stuff unless it's furls. So I bought these circular knitting needles, Chiagu, I never can pronounce that correctly. It's 60 centimeters, and their size, US size 2 or 2.75 millimeters. But anyway, the question I want to answer in this video today is, can you transfer a project onto another set of needles? And the answer to that question is yes. Yes. So if you're working a project, you're just learning how to knit, or maybe you're a veteran knitter maybe, and you've never tried to transfer them off, all you have to do is get a set of knitting needles the exact same size as the ones you're working on, and you start knitting with the other set of needles. So my thing was that eventually this pattern is going to start getting worked in the round, and I didn't want to wait till then, because when you're trying to work a project, you do not want to be transferring needles mid-round. So what you're going to do, I'm going to zoom in here. What we're going to be doing here is just starting to knit with our other needle. So I'm going to insert my new needle knitwise into my project, and I am going to start knitting. So if you're working with circulars, it's going to work out like you were using straights, and if you were using straights to begin with, it's just a matter of knitting them onto the new set of straights. Now this yarn is so thin. Like I said, I'm using a US size 2, so I won't be casting all of these stitches onto my new needles on this video, but I did want to show you guys that it works out perfectly fine if you are wanting to transfer your needles. Like I said, it could be a matter of flow. For me, these wooden needles, where the cable connects to the needle, it causes way too much friction and pulling on my fiber, and because it's so thin, I don't want it to break on me mid-project. That would make Infiniti cry many tears. Perhaps infinitely many tears. Oh my god, my humor's so bad. So yeah, I hope this tip helps save a project. Like I said, that very first knitting project I tried, I threw it and the needles in the trash. Yes, I did, because I couldn't stand the texture of those plastic needles. But now I love knitting, and I hope you guys, as you go along your crafting journey, will learn to love knitting as much as I do. Yeah, so as you can see, this is working out beautifully, and I am much happier with the texture of my brand new knitting needles. If you want the exact same pair, I will say I did have a little misjudgment there in the length of the needles. They are crazy long, which I'm glad, because if I want to work with this in the future and make a huge project like a blanket, I could. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If so, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. Let me know how I did down below. What are some neat tips and tricks you figured out over the years with knitting? Because, you know, I'm always learning new things with knitting, right? And I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. If you want to see more from me, you can check out my social media, which is linked in my description box below. I'm on a host of different media, so I have a little something out there for everybody. If you want to support the channel, you can head on over to my brand new website. Sign up for the newsletter. I usually send out a newsletter twice a month, maybe 3 times during Crafters Month, but you know. And I'm always doing new things and working on exciting projects as far as Infiniti Crafting Co. goes. And you're not going to want to miss out on stuff that comes out in the future. So until next time, guys, happy making.